Team too deep anyway. Too deep anyway. That two-eyed tribe. They're having field day. Some nigga named Hyn. Just came out the blue. Nigga stole our show. Now what we gonna do? Goddamn.
Sky people cheap.
Conversations with Dame Dozha. I got my boy Willie Hyn on set today. Mr. Rock and Rolls. Roses Are Dead tour coming soon. 13 roses, you know what I'm saying? Give him a dozen of roses, you know what I'm saying? The 13th one, he had to tell you about the 13th one. If y'all buying a dozen of roses, then y'all need to get y'all game up according to what my man Willie.
Come on, man.
What my man Willie doing with these women, man, and the love songs, man. First off, I want to thank you, man, for the years of. I remember. I want to just give everybody my point of view of how I discovered this artist right here is Willie Hyn. I came to my man Justin, brought me. Well, first off, we was already kind of connected through mutual friends, but Center Stage, I think you were doing a show for either India Sean opening up, or it just might have been a showcase, and I heard y'all do Strawberry Lights, and I was blown away. Bree had the lipstick to the side. That was one thing that just kind of caught me. I never could forget how she had her lipstick, her signature lipstick. Shout out to Miss Bree, did that. Miss Bree did it. Excuse me. She had her thing going on, and the show was just so big, and you reminded me of it was just a rock star, but in a hip hop way. And my man was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's Willie. You need to look out for him." And I was just moving. This was about 4 years ago. I was just moving up here, and ever since then, I was like, "Oh man, I got to pay attention to what this man got going on. I got to know." And every time with every show. You performed one time or whatever. It was like a birthday show one time or whatever, right? Right in the metros or whatever for your manager. And we had a similar birthday around that time. I was just partying. I came to the back. Bam, y'all doing the show right back here. And it was just like, it's like sometimes good energies. I like to consider myself a curator of good talent, and it's based off the energy, you know what I'm saying? People who are really out here doing it, and you one of those guys, my brother. Yeah, and I just and I tell people I play your music everywhere I go, and people are always blown away because it's just it's a collection of sounds, excuse me. But go ahead and tell the people a little bit about who Willie Hyn and where you from and where how this stuff started.
Willie Hyn, from Decatur, Georgia. Been doing this thing for a little minute, But yeah, man, I've been blessed to be surrounded by a great team of people, a great team of just a real family, a tribe. That's really what that is, man. And they just really helped me along the years, and here we are. It's been a long journey. I don't really consider myself a rapper. I feel like I'm a musician that just knew how to rap. At the end of the day, I can, what I'm saying? But I really consider myself more of a full-on musician and a songwriter. So I've been blessed to still be going, man. Still be doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Let the people know. Okay, you say Triibe and the two eyes, and your signature Triibe. What's the two eyes about?
The two eyes really was just, I just liked it. I just put it in there, and I liked it. The Triibe really was more so, I wanted people to, to understand, like, the meaning behind, the meaning to me behind my family. All the people that really, when you see me, you always see them.
Yeah, but gang of y'all too.
But it's really just, man, it's a collection of people, with the same beliefs. And one common goal, man. And I just feel like everybody within the tribe is all kind of like an unsung hero. Someone you know, with whatever they do. They just really have an undeniable talent that just, you know, for whatever reason they might have gotten looked over. And yeah, man, that's really what that is, and that's a lot of it.
Yeah, and while we're on speaking of Tribe, I've been paying close attention to you know, you pretty much have a lot of your family and your friends to the forefront in your career and on social media. You come from a church background, I'm saying, is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're real close to your parents. You want to, anything you want to throw in on that, whatever. Like, I know it's pretty much a family thing. Like, you got your brother that hop on track sometimes. Yeah. You play the drums at the church, and other churches. You know what I'm saying? Book this man because he actually turned the church up as well. But
yeah, man, I've been playing since I was 5 years old. Both of my parents are pastors, and I've been playing in church since I was 5. So the music thing really wasn't a shock. Cause my dad can sing. He can sing. And so then all my aunts, they're all singers. You know, they were all a group at one time, a gospel group. So my family's always, you know, been rooted into the church. So it was just natural for me to you know, be around that, and even you can kind of hear it in the music. You know what I'm saying? It's always got that. You know, my music has always got some sort of spiritual element in it, especially when you see me live. But it's all come natural from just, you know, growing up, and yeah, man, I've been beating them drums for a long time now, man.
Yeah, when I seen this man actually do a show, now I done seen him as the lead man, and he's jumping all over the stage. But then one time I came to one show, this man was playing the drums. He was playing the drums while doing the whole show, like actual. And I was like different. I ain't really seen that. The lead man, especially if you know this show, the energy. Go look up his show because the energy this dude gives with his show, and he banging the drums and still actually on point with the vocals, man. I just it's just a joy to see. And while we're speaking on spiritual, I want to talk about some of your influences. I always, when I tell people about who you remind me of, the bar is already set. Mm-hmm. It's like they don't believe it because, like, yeah, man, it kind of remind me of, you know, like a Andre 3000 mixed with Prince a little bit. You know what I'm saying? With a kind of a James Brown type live performance, because it's gonna get you involved, so to speak. It's a lot of call out a little bit sometimes, and they be like, "Now you just said Prince, Andre 3000 meets, you know, whatever," and I'm like, "Yeah, man." And they have the background dance, whole full band. It's like it's kind of tough to kind of put this guy in one particular box or a small stage because his production is very high. So tell them a little bit about your influences from Prince to Andre 3000.
Yeah, man. Andre, or Outkast, I started really listening to them. I caught on to them late though. You know, I was a late catch on to the whole Outkast vibe, man. Because I mean, you know, growing up in the church, I wasn't around it as much. You know what I'm saying? And when I caught on, it was automatic, and I just connected to Andre, man. It was just, you know what I'm saying? He made me really want to start, you know, really writing. You know what I'm saying? And then I really caught on late with Prince. You know, I was late to catch on, you know, to a lot of different artists that people would think I probably would listen to them all my life. But one of my ex-girlfriends actually put me on. Her dad was a DJ, and I just happened to be at their crib one day, and she started playing me some Prince. I mean, I was like 20 years old.
Oh man, yeah, that is late.
Yeah, man, I was like 20 years old, but she started playing me. I was like, what? I mean, I knew who Prince was.
Right, but to get deep into the catalog.
Yeah, it was one of them songs that, you know, it wasn't a single type record, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what the hell? She was like, you don't know nothing about this. And I just started really like listening, you know, and really, you know, just diving into the music for the first time, man. And it stuck with me. And I said, okay, when I start really, you know, getting into this thing you know what I'm saying, and start really getting into this music thing, that's what I want to go for. I want to go for, I want to go up under that influence of, Andre 3000 and Prince. And then it just got to the point where I don't even think about it no more. Like, people just hear it and be like, oh, that reminds me of Prince. Oh, that reminds me of Andre. And
it's definitely not forced. It's definitely not anything that you're mimicking or sampling the sound or anything like that. It's just the next thing that you can only pinpoint where you felt this vibe and this energy when you hear it and when you see it. So, people are gonna get a chance to see. You got to catch this man perform. It's a big festival coming up. We're gonna talk about that in a second, but I wanna get into the Mohawk. Your image and is a part of your image and your look, and you haven't always. I know it hasn't always been the Mohawk, but explain to us what the Mohawk brings to the Willie Hyn. What does it bring?
Man, the Hawk is more popular than me. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, man, I didn't really. That was one of those things I didn't think about it. I didn't say I want to have a super tall Mohawk. As an artist, like when Obama was put in, when he was put in office, when he the first term.
Right.
Everybody was super lit. The second time we knew like he gonna get it again. Yeah. But that first time, we was like, oh my God, like he did it. So that night I got super drunk, and I got a Mohawk cut in my head, and I just never cut it. I just kept it going, man. But it ended up becoming like, I watched a lot of wrestling when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I paid attention to all the different wrestlers that just had that thing that was just like, oh, that's Shawn Michaels. Oh, that's Razor Ramon. Oh, that's
JYD.
That's Sting. You know what I'm saying? That's Stone Cold. Like everybody had that thing that just you knew. So I wanted that with me. So I was like, well, if I still got this up here, I'm gonna just really just rock it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's added a lot to it, man. It's added a lot to it. I'm waiting to get that Head and Shoulders endorsement. Plus.
Hey, there it is.
Call your boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and when you see it during the show, it does add a little effect to it, I must say, because not only, are you rocking out, and as I hear you say, sometimes you have to actually get real therapy and treatment to your body after you give your all every performance, and that's a big sacrifice, my brother, because you actually go in and you got the hair going. I'm telling you, something y'all got to check out. But we're gonna get into a little bit of the music. First off, I was able to catch on during the Pearl Misty Rose, and I always wondered who she was. I always wondered. What inspired that, and it was, it was a character. It was the allure of the character just was almost just as big as the music, and that album, the one right before 13 Roses, help me out.
Rock and Roll.
Rock and Rolls, the Rock and Rolls album. And was that the first time you introduced the Pearl Misty Rose character?
Yeah, that was the first time.
And is it, I like to consider it based on a true story, so to speak. But you want to elaborate, let the people know about the Pearl Misty Rose and the Rock and Rolls album?
Yeah, I wanted to do, coming up, really just fully inspired by Purple Rain, and it just kind of being fresh. Because remember, I hadn't really known it like that back then. Like, so 2021, and I came up with the idea around about, I think I was like 25, like 24, 25, and I came up with the idea. But I just really wanted that whole, like, I wanted the Apollonia. I wanted my own Apollonia, you know what I'm saying? So that's when I was like, okay, boom, Pearl Misty Rose. And like, I was that dude that just was, I was that love story dude. Like, I was always intrigued by him, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to incorporate that in my music. So I was like, who else has done a 3-part love series in hip hop? So I was like, that's what I want to do. And and that was Rock and Rolls. And Pearl Misty Rose is basically I've had three like real loves in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much all three of them in one. Pearl Misty Rose. It's all three of them.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
And I pay attention to a lot what's going on, and I still that's deep.
Yeah.
Because so the trilogy is where are we in the trilogy right now?
We're in part three, and I mean basically Pearl Misty Rose represents, all three of those girls represent like this particular, my particular love I'm talking about in the album. So we're in part three right now. Basically, it's the end. This is it.
Yeah, we had Rock and Rolls. In case y'all, this is what you got to go research. You got to go listen to the Rock and Rolls album. I mean, dude drops all kind of freestyles and rips up the mic every now and then. But as far as the series, Rock and Rolls, 13 Roses. Go check out the 13 Roses movie. We're about to talk about that in a second. Yeah. And then what? And then so the Roses Are Dead is the third.
Roses Are Dead tour.
Roses Are Dead tour. So let's talk about the 13 Roses. Did you always intend on having a movie, or was it just it was a dream for it, and then it just happened, or the music happened first, and then it?
Oh yeah, definitely. The music came out first. We released the music in 2016, February 13, 2016, and then we dropped the movie the following. We dropped it last year, July 27th. But yeah, I mean, I always knew that all three of them would eventually one day make a movie. Just, and just me being, just realizing my financial situation, I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to pull off no time soon. But I always knew I wanted to do it. And then that's when Music Soul Child, jumped in, and that was around the time when he first started working with me. He was like, man, what do you want to do with this stuff, man? Like this, this album sounds like a movie. Like this needs to be something bigger. And I was like, yeah, well, I always wanted to do a movie, and just like that, he was like, well, let's make it happen. And so we called Mike from My Photos. Shout out to Mike. Genius.
Yes.
Genius.
Oh, I skipped the whole IMI situation, but I'm sorry to cut you off because once you mentioned IMI, I went to thinking about 80s rock, hot video. The dynamics in the video is just incredible. It's just it takes you on a real trippy ride, and I was like, oh man, this dude knows about it. I'm saying, like, it's some real trippy shit, but it's also just cool as fuck. It's a cool visual to watch over and over. Let them know about working with IMI from 80s rock to get winning. What was the award? The best ATL music video, was it?
Yeah, we won. Well, we was entered into the Atlanta Film Festival, and we came in first place. 3,900 submissions. We had the best video of the year. So yeah, that's when I knew. I was like, all right, Mike. Well, we got this here. Right. We ain't gonna let that go. Cause I mean, he's amazing, man. He's amazing. I mean, 80s rock. I mean, all that in that video took us like, I think we shot that video in 45 minutes.
Wow. And
then he just went to the lab. You know what I'm saying? And he knows what he's very professional. He knows exactly what he wants to do from shot to shot to shot, from time to time. I mean, he's got the time it's gonna take each shot. Like he's on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's easy. It's super easy working with him, man. Because once you give him the vision, I mean, he just puts the hot sauce on it and just, you know what I'm saying?
I can imagine.
Say, Sterling, you see, they gonna hate you, understand me? I'm backstage at a show, and this nigga, he mad than the motherfucker. Motherfucker went on before we did. He on the phone talking to his girl. I was like, hey, goddamn, nigga, man. Matter of fact, bro, he did some shit like that. He said some shit like that.
Some nigga named Hyn. Jay came out the blue. Nigga stole our show. Now what we gonna do?
Shit, nigga, let's jump.
Wait, hold up. You don't wanna do that, folks. He the one that brought out a hoe. Plus the team too deep. Too deep anyway. That too I tried. They'll have a field day. Some nigga named Hyn. Jay came out the blue. Nigga stole our show. Now what we gonna do?
got people cheap, come in peace, bang, who shot ya?